Good morning, guys. I am so excited for today's video. I'm going to be taking you along on a little exploration of Indianapolis. So I recently moved to Indy and it is my goal to explore as many things as possible in this city. And this is the beginning of a new series on my channel where I'm going to be taking you to different tourist things, restaurants, different coffee shops, bookshops, all of the things in Indy, museums, walking paths, anything that you would want to do when you come to visit Indy. I want to take you guys along, give you reviews. If you're planning a trip to Indy or maybe you're from Indy, you can watch these videos and get a good idea of what to do, what's good, what's not worth doing, all of the things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go to downtown Indy. So when we arrived downtown, we found parking and then ended up heading north on Delaware until New York Street, and then we took that to Commissary Coffee. This coffee shop was absolutely amazing. It was super cute. I got an Americano and it was literally the best Americano I have ever had in my entire life. So highly recommend this coffee shop. It was very crowded in there, so we didn't get to stay and sit, but it was worth standing in the cold while drinking your coffee because the coffee was that good. So then after grabbing our coffee, we headed west on New York to University Park. The park was pretty snowed in, so we didn't really get to explore the park at all, but these are some of the buildings surrounding it. I think in the summertime, the park would be a great place to explore, look at the monuments, and just enjoy a little green space, but in the wintertime, probably wasn't worth going there. And then we headed south on Meridian Street to Soldiers Monument. The monument is honestly super pretty, especially on a sunny day like this where you can see it against the nice blue sky. Again, it was pretty snowed in and there's usually fountains all around this, but unfortunately with the snow and ice and everything, there were no fountains. But that area right there, there would normally be water there, which would be quite cool. And then we went ahead and headed to Massachusetts Avenue, which I had read had some really cute shops on it. This shop here is called Global Gifts. It was a really cute one. They had lots of cute stuff, some amazing looking candles and journals and jewelry and basically anything you could want in a gift shop, including these really cool sound bowls, which honestly, I almost picked one up because I've always wanted one of these and they were really pretty. The next place that we went was called Sage. It was a very small little boutique, but they had lots of cute stuff. I didn't get very many clips in there, but Artisans was the next place that we went. This was another really cute kind of gift shop. They had a lot of really cool prints, and they had some Zodiac themed perfumes and plates and all kinds of really cool things in here. And then we went to Silver in the City. This was a really kind of whimsical store. They had all kinds of like journals and just fun flags and coloring books and activity books and all kinds of cool things like that on one side of the store. And then on the other side of the store, they had a lot of really beautiful jewelry pieces of all kinds of different types. You know, you had big and kind of statement pieces, and then they had really sweet, dainty little pieces as well. They have really pretty jewelry in here. And then we just kind of walked around a little bit and saw the dancing lady and just enjoyed some of the cityscapes. So it's a couple days later, but I did want to just give you guys kind of a summary of everything we did and rate everything that we did and just in general just summarize the entire afternoon. So I will say the main issue that we ran into was the fact that it is cold outside, and we had just gotten like 7 inches of snow like 2 days before we went downtown. So there was snow all over the sidewalks. It was super cold. We couldn't really enjoy any of the parks or anything like that because there was just snow everywhere. And I had originally planned on going to dinner and then going to drinks at like this really cool arcade bar. But because it was so cold, we didn't really want to stay downtown any longer because we were freezing. And then also with it being really cold, some of the monuments and fountains and everything weren't nearly as accessible or as interesting because there wasn't water in the fountains and there was just literally snow everywhere. So again, just don't go to Indy in the wintertime, especially after it snowed like 6 inches. But all of that being said, I wanted to rate everything that we did. So the coffee shop we went to, 10 out of 10. It was amazing. I will actually knock off just like 1 point for that, so maybe actually give it a 9 out of 10 because when we went there was literally nowhere to sit. So it would have been kind of fun to sit down and warm up with a nice cup of coffee, but it was unfortunately a little too crowded. So if it weren't for the fact that it was so busy, I would have rated it a 9 out of 10. But it was super busy, but the vibes were on point. Best Americano I've ever had. The employees were super nice all over. It was just a great experience. I will say if you are looking for it, it is in the basement level of a building. So we actually walked by it twice when we were looking for it because we had the point on the map where it was, but we literally couldn't find it for a little while because it is in the basement. So be aware of that. If you were looking for that coffee shop, it is in the basement. So then after the coffee shop, as you guys saw, we went to University Park, which has a lot of monuments and it's supposed to be just kind of a nice green space. But again, because it was winter time, it was pretty much completely not accessible. It wasn't even plowed out or anything, so you really couldn't get to anything. So with that, I'd give it like, I don't know, a 1 out of 10, but I think during the summertime, I think it would be a really nice green space. So maybe with that, I'd give it like a 5 out of 10 because it did look kind of nice. There were nice monuments around and it would be a great place to have like a picnic or just chill out in a green space downtown. And the buildings around it were also really nice and pretty, so you know, it gets some points for that. But overall, in the wintertime, just skip it. Don't even do it. And then from there, we went to the Soldiers Monument, which is kind of like right in the heart of downtown. Honestly, it was super cool looking. It was really pretty against the sunny sky, the blue skies. It was very pretty. However, there are water fountains that are supposed to be all around it, which I think would be awesome in the summertime, but in the wintertime, not super interesting. But there was a really cool church right across the street, so that was kind of cool to look at. And just overall, the monument was pretty. So I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 or so. I think worth doing if you're downtown, but in the wintertime, just don't go downtown. And then after that, we went down to Massachusetts Avenue, which is supposed to have a lot of really cool shops, and it definitely did. I would probably rate them maybe like 7 out of 10. I think if you're already downtown for some other reason, it's definitely worth going down to Massachusetts Avenue and checking out the shops down there. But I definitely wouldn't go downtown just for that because they weren't that great, but they were cute enough and interesting enough. If you're downtown, go check them out. And then I did just want to mention parking. I was originally planning on parking at Millennium, I believe the parking garage name is, but it was completely full when we got there, so we had to kind of regroup, and we ended up parking at Denison Parking Garage, which is on Meridian Street. So that was completely open, it wasn't full or anything, and it was only $5 for us to park, and we were there for quite a few hours, so I think that's probably gonna be where I park from now on. I do think there was some kind of a special going on, so I don't think it's always that cheap, but for $5 on a Saturday in the afternoon, definitely a good option. So Denison on Meridian is where we ended up parking. 10 out of 10 because it was only $5. And I think that is everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't think this was quite as interesting as I was hoping for because we ended up not eating anywhere. So hopefully next time I do one of these, we will have a little bit more to rate and review. I will say that I do have a friend coming this weekend, and I hope that we are going to be going to the art museum here, so be on the lookout for a video about that and everything else we get up to here in Indy. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one, and if you're not already, make sure that you subscribe so you can see all of the Indianapolis content the planning, the healthy habits, healthy lifestyles, all of the things here on my channel. So make sure you're subscribed and comment down below where you're from and what your favorite thing to do in your city is. So I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.